Why do the world's richest people choose a lodge filled with bright fuchsia and emerald green in the middle of the brown African bush? Because at Royal Malewane, the wild is just a backdrop for the most insane luxury on earth. Stick around, because these royal secrets are about to be revealed. The legacy of a visionary. The Biden family story. Before we look at the insane rooms, we have to talk about how this all started. You don't get this level of luxury by accident. Royal Malewane was originally a private family retreat for the Biden family. No, not the Biden family. We are talking about Liz and Phil Biden, the power couple behind South Africa's most prestigious hotel collection, the Royal Portfolio. Back in the 1990s, this was just their personal bush home. But Liz Biden, who has a legendary eye for design and luxury, decided to share their paradise with the world. She reimagined the homestead and opened Royal Malewane in 1999. Since then, it has grown into a global icon, winning awards like the world's leading luxury lodge in 2024. The crazy part is that even though it's now a world-famous hotel, it still feels like you're staying in someone's private home. It has that intimate family vibe that you just can't find in big corporate resorts. Her son, Matthew Biden, is now the CEO, and he remembers growing up on the property, which is probably why the service feels so personal. They treat every guest like royalty because, well, the word royal is right there in the name. The big numbers, acres, hectares, and total privacy. When we say this place is big, we aren't just talking about the rooms. Royal Malewane is located within the Thornybush Private Game Reserve, which covers over 37,000 acres of pristine African wilderness. This area is part of the Greater Kruger ecosystem, meaning there are no fences between this land and the millions of acres of the national park. The animals move freely, and so does the money. But here is the deal. Despite having all that land, they keep the guest count incredibly low. The original Malowane Lodge only has 6 luxury suites and 2 royal suites. That's it. You are sharing 37,000 acres with maybe 20 other people. To put that in perspective, that is roughly 1,850 acres per person. Imagine having that much space to yourself. And get this, to keep the estate running perfectly, they have an 80 kilowatt volt ampere generator on site. In a country where the power grid can be a little shaky, these billionaires never even see a light flicker. The water is treated on site, the security is tighter than a bank vault, and the entire operation is built to ensure the outside world never disturbs the guests. Malowane Lodge, the original heart of opulence. Let's step inside the original heart of the estate, Malowane Lodge. This is where the old-school colonial-style luxury meets the modern world. Every suite here is a sanctuary. We are talking about thatched roofs, massive wooden terraces, and floor-to-ceiling glass walls that give you a panoramic view of the bush from your bed. Each suite has its own private plunge pool. Truth be told, there is nothing quite like sitting in a heated pool while an elephant walks past just 20 feet away. The bathrooms are just as insane, with indoor and outdoor showers, freestanding tubs and hand-painted tiles. But if you want to go even bigger, you book a royal suite. These are massive, with huge living areas, private gazebos for outside dining, and even more space to stretch out. In early 2026, the cost for one of these suites is around $3,100 to $4,000 per person per night. If you stay for a week with your partner, you are looking at a $50,000 bill before you even think about the tip. Africa House, the celebrity fortress. Now, if you are a superstar like Elton John or Bono, you don't stay in a suite. You book Africa House. This is the crown jewel of the entire property. It was originally the Biden family's actual home, but now it is an exclusive-use 6-bedroom villa that is basically a private hotel within the estate. Africa House is filled with one-of-a-kind furniture that Liz Biden collected from her travels all over the world. It is a riot of colour, vibrant fuchsias, deep turquoises and emerald greens. It breaks every boring rule of safari design. When you stay at Africa House, you get your own private chef, your own butler, and your own private game drive vehicle. You never have to see another human being if you don't want to. You have your own entrance, your own pool, and a private courtyard for family gatherings. In late 2025 and early 2026, the rate for Africa House for a group of 12 adults is roughly $32,900 per night. That is nearly $230,000 for a week. For the billionaires who stay here, that is just the price of total privacy and absolute luxury. Waterside Lodge, a bold new vision. While Malowane Lodge is all about that classic romance, Waterside Lodge is the bold new kid on the block. Opened recently, it takes the luxury to a whole different level with a design that is fearless. Imagine walking along elevated wooden walkways that link your suite to the main areas. The whole place is built around a massive watering hole where animals come to drink all day long. The suites are huge and the design is super modern. They use colours that only nature has the courage to use, bright blues and deep greens that match the water and the trees. Waterside is perfect for families because the suites are spread out, giving everyone their own space while still being close to the action. It has its own spa, its own gym, and a library that looks like it belongs in a European mansion. The price? Expect to pay around $3,000 per person per night. It is safari at the private jet level. And everyone's obsessed with the new vibe here. The Farmstead, homely warmth for the ultra-rich. If you want something a bit more low-key, but still incredibly expensive, you head to the Farmstead. This is a smaller, more intimate part of the estate with only 3 suites. The design here is rustic luxury. It feels like a very wealthy farmer's house from 100 years ago, but with all the high-tech gadgets of today. The suites here look out over a large plain where you can see buffalo and zebras grazing while you have your morning coffee. One guest, who usually liked simple designs, said that staying here was a life-changing shift. The bold colours and the extreme comfort make you feel like you are in a different world. It is the kind of place where they know exactly how you like your tea, even if it's something rare like lapsang souchong, and it's waiting for you before you even ask. It is that scrupulous detail that sets Royal Malowane apart. Masia's Camp, the 2025 legend. The newest addition to the collection is Masia's Camp, opening its doors in 2025. It is named after a true legend, Wilson Masia, a master tracker who has been with the family for decades. This camp is a tented experience, but don't think for a second that means you're roughing it. These are luxury tented suites that combine the charm of an old-school expedition with ultra-modern style. Each tented home has floor-to-ceiling windows, a private heated plunge pool, and a sala, which is a covered outdoor relaxation area. The design is a mix of vintage and modern, with Persian rugs, Marrakesh-style pottery, and bespoke Indian doors. It is 2,476 square feet of living space, all under canvas. This camp is intended for those who want to feel even closer to nature without giving up their private butler. It is a tribute to the trackers who make the safari magic happen. And truth be told, it's going to be the hottest ticket in the Kruger for 2026. The elite guiding team, the real stars of the show. You can have the best room in the world, but if you don't see any animals, it's not a safari. That is why Royal Malowane has what is arguably the most qualified guiding team in Africa. They have guys like Juan Pinto and the late Wilson Masia, who were some of the only master trackers in the world. To become a master tracker, you have to be able to identify a tiny scratch on a rock or a broken blade of grass and know exactly what animal made it and when. When you go out on a game drive in one of their open Land Rovers, you aren't just driving around looking for luck. You are participating in a high-stakes game of hide and seek. There is an amazing story about the team tracking a cheetah mother who had been injured. They found her, discovered she had playful cubs, and were able to monitor them to make sure they survived. That is the kind of unique experience of a lifetime that billionaires pay for. They offer twice daily drives, one at dawn and one at dusk. But the real thrill is the night drive. They use high-powered spotlights to find the nocturnal secrets of the bush, like owls, hyenas and leopards on the hunt. You can also go on bushwalks, where you get out of the car and walk alongside the guides. It is a heart-pounding way to see the smaller wonders of the ecosystem, like ancient trees and tiny insects. Wellness and the royal waters. Spa, billionaire-level dining, a culinary art form. At Royal Malowane, the food is just as important as the lions. They treat dining like an art form. We are talking about soul-stirring recipes and a wine cellar that would make a French sommelier cry with joy. The meals are completely personalised. If you want a bush breakfast, the team will set up a full kitchen in the middle of the savannah. You can eat fresh muffins and eggs while watching a herd of elephants at a nearby waterhole. If you want a 12-course dinner under the stars, they will light hundreds of lanterns and set a table with the finest china and silver in a dry riverbed. The chefs use only the freshest local ingredients, and they can accommodate any diet with flair. One vegetarian guest raved that the dishes were better than most gourmet restaurants in the city. And truth be told, when you're drinking a world-class Cabernet, while a hippo bellows in the distance, everything tastes better. The fully inclusive plus rate means you don't have to worry about a thing. Your minibar is stocked with your favourite premium spirits. The snacks are handmade every day, and the laundry service makes sure you always look like a star, even in the middle of the bush. After a long day of tracking rhinos, even a billionaire needs to relax. That is where the Royal Water Spa comes in. It is one of the most famous spas in South Africa, and for good reason. The treatments are inspired by ancient African rituals and use natural ingredients from the surrounding land. You can have a massage on your private deck or head to the spa for a full-body wrap. They even have sound baths and yoga sessions to help you find your balance. The gym is fully equipped with the latest machines, but honestly, most people prefer to just float in their plunge pool and watch the monkeys play in the trees. It is about transformative nature immersion, making you feel so connected to the wild that all your stress just melts away. Conservation as a luxury. The 100-year purpose. The billionaires who stay at Royal Malewane aren't just looking for a tan, they are also looking to make a difference. The estate is a leader in conservation and research. They have an on-site conservation and research centre, where guests can see the high-tech work being done to protect the rhinos from poachers. You can actually go on tours to see the anti-poaching dog unit in action. These dogs are trained to track humans through the bush at high speeds, and they are a vital part of keeping the animals safe. The Royal Portfolio Foundation also supports the local communities through education and jobs. By staying here, the guests are directly funding the protection of the species and the upliftment of the people. For many ultra-high net worth visitors, that giving back aspect is the ultimate luxury. It aligns with their values and makes the $4,000 a night price tag feel like an investment in the future of the planet. Celebrity privacy, the paparazzi-free zone. One of the main reasons Royal Malowane is a secret estate is because it is a paparazzi-free zone. When stars like Elton John, Bono, or world leaders stay here, they know their privacy is 100% guaranteed. The staff are trained to be totally discreet. They don't take photos, they don't ask for autographs, and they certainly don't leak details to the press. This is why Africa House is so popular. It's a fortress where a star can just be a regular person for a few days. Designer Kelly Hoppen called it a magical place that stays in your mind forever. For someone who spends their life in the spotlight, that kind of genuine peace is priceless. Even if you aren't famous, they treat you with that same level of respect and privacy. You are the king of your own private savannah for as long as you stay. Royal Malowane's secret numbers and billionaire myths. Billionaires love math. because numbers do not lie. When you look at the hard data behind Royal Malewane, it becomes clear why this place is a dream for the world's richest people. For starters, let's talk about the land. We are looking at access to 37,000 acres of private thorny-bush wilderness. That is not just a big backyard, it is a massive kingdom. And get this, even though the land is huge, they only allow 20 to 30 guests to stay at the main lodges at any single time. Basically, that means every guest has an insane amount of space. You could walk for miles and never see another human being who isn't there to serve you. This kind of privacy is exactly what people with deep pockets are looking for. Now, let's talk about the price tag. It is not for the faint of heart. Suites start around $2,900 and can quickly jump to $4,000 for just one night. But if you want the real crown jewel, you have to look at Africa House. This private villa can cost $32,900 per night. Hands down, that is one of the most expensive beds in the world. So here's the deal. Why would anyone pay that much? The answer is in the service. The staff ratio is roughly 4 staff members for every one guest. That means you have a dedicated team that knows your name, your favorite snack, and exactly how you like your drink before you even step off the plane. The guiding team is also on another level. They are known as the most skilled guides in Africa. This includes master trackers who have a skill that seems almost like magic. They can track a lion or a leopard across bare rock just by looking at tiny scratches or a single disturbed pebble. But here's the catch. Some people wonder if these trackers have a secret connection to the animals. There are wild theories that these men can actually hear the thoughts of the predators. It sounds like a mystery from a book, but when you see them find a hidden cat in the middle of a dense forest, you start to wonder if we are missing a key detail about how they really work. People always ask why the price of a safari keeps going up. It's not that simple, though. Running a palace in the middle of the bush is a logistical nightmare. Every single piece of fruit, every bottle of fine wine, and every clean sheet has to be flown in or driven over hundreds of miles of rough, dusty roads. You have to build and maintain your own power grid and your own water system. On top of that, you need high-speed internet that works in the middle of nowhere. Then there is the biggest cost of all, security. There are teams who risk everything to protect the rhinos from bad people 24 hours a day. When you pay those $3,000, you are paying for a massive system that keeps the wilderness alive. By late 2025, with prices rising everywhere, these costs have become the new normal for elite travelers. What most people don't realize is that Royal Malewane might be more than just a hotel. Because it is so private, some people think it is a secret meeting spot for the people who really run the world. With 37,000 acres, you could hide anything out there. Some wild theories even suggest there are hidden tunnels beneath the luxury suites where leaders meet in secret. The crazy part is that with so much high-tech security, no one would ever know. It adds a layer of mystery to the whole estate that makes it even more attractive to those who have secrets to keep. As we look toward 2026, the estate is getting even more exclusive. The opening of Masia's camp is a sign that they are moving toward even more intimate experiences. They want to give guests a choice between the classic lodge, the colourful Waterside, or the simple Farmstead. They are also starting new helicopter tours. Soon, guests will be able to fly over the park to see how the security teams work from the sky. It's about taking the safari out of the truck and putting it into the air. Is this just about seeing animals? Or are they looking for something else, hidden in the trees? The only way to know is to be one of the few who can afford to step inside the circle. It is a place where history meets high-tech luxury, where a family holiday home turned into the most prestigious lodge in the world, where you can track a leopard through the grass in the morning and have a massage in a private spa in the afternoon. From the $33,000 a night Africa house to the incredible trackers who can read the ground like a book, Royal Malewane is a testament to what happens when you combine big money with a big heart for nature. It's more than just a vacation, it's a statement. It's an experience that stays with you long after the dust of the Kruger has settled. What do you think? Is a safari at this level worth the $4,000 a night price tag? Or would you rather have a beach house in Dubai? Let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear your take on the billionaire safari life. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into Africa's most expensive secret estate, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. We have got a lot more stories about the world's most insane places coming your way. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.